Avengers Assemble! This is Chucky from Collecting for Fun, and today we got a fun review of Captain America's shield here from the Lego company. This item is 76262. It has 3,128 pieces. So let's have a look at the box art first. Obviously on the front and center of the box we have Captain America's shield. We have the star in the middle. We have the traditional colors of Captain America's shield of the red, white, red, and blue, and then the star that is white. The box is, for the most part, unremarkable. The top has, another silhouette of the shield there. Bottom as well, and you can also see a Captain America minifigure, which also does come with the set. On the back is more or less the same picture of the shield. The movie MCU version of Captain America having the shield on his back while he's on the motorcycle. There's some cool specs and dimensions of the shield here. It says here it's 18.5 inches or 48 centimeters in height and 47 centimeters width, or 18.5 inches wide, which makes sense because it's a shield, so it's circular, or at least this shield is circular. And so that is the box. So let's have a look at the actual shield itself. There we go. Let's zoom in a little bit of the shield there. And actually we also have the manual. We're going to go over what's in the manual. But let's have a quick peek at the shield. We have a quick preview. And there, down the bottom here, we have Captain America, and I just put him there because he's kind of sitting there, so I know where he is. And we'll pull him off his little thing there. He does sit on this little white thing here. And there's Captain America. You can see that he comes with the shield. He also comes with Thor's hammer, as he did in the Endgame. And I like the detail printing on the chest plate there. It's very nice. You can tell even with the helmet on, or his helmet on. He's got a beard on there. So let's take off the helmet. There he is. Oh, it's a little bit. There we go. You can see as he had in the Avengers movie, he's got a little beard going on there. He also has clean shaven Captain America head as well. Let me see if I can get that more focused. There we are. And we guys kind of grin on his head there. He does come with a hair piece as well, so let me pull that off. So he's got the hair piece. You can put that on his head as well. So let's do that. And I was just, Captain America likes to say, I can do this all day long. There's it with the beard, and if you prefer it better, let me take off his head. If you prefer it better, you can actually obviously spin his head around and have him with his hair like so. There we go. So either which way, I prefer it with the helmet on, but if you like the hair, go ahead. So let me switch it back to the helmet so I don't forget to put it back on. Now there's really no place to store the hairpiece. So let me just put Captain America back over there. So he has that little white thing there, so that actually comes with the set, and you can see on the bottom it says Infinity Saga Captain America. So you just pretty much put him right on there, just so you have him there, and he's kind of like jumping off. It looks like he's jumping into battle basically. Now as far as the shield, I just took a couple, or hair piece I should say. I just put a couple white blocks together that I got randomly from other sets, and then I just plop it into the headpiece there, and I'm gonna actually put it into the so I don't lose it. Obviously this is not part of the decor of it, but I'm just gonna put it there just so I know where it is. Otherwise I'm probably gonna lose it. All right, let's go back and look at the shield here. So there's the shield in itself. You can see that it is a nice replica of the shield. I don't think it's 1-to-1. It's a smaller scale than the normal shield, but it is it's a fairly nice display piece. Now, because the way this thing's designed, it's meant and I don't think you would ever display the shield backwards. This is meant to be a front-facing display piece. There's really nothing much going on in the back. So let me just spin that around. So you can actually let me just bring that forward so I can spin that around easier. There we go. So let's spin that around. So in the back, you can see there's a lot of pieces in the back, all coming from the center, and so you can imagine there's a lot of repetition in building this thing. So because it's a lot of layering of different segments, and then obviously the shield itself. So the shield there's nothing special about the shield in the back. The shield itself, here you can see there's a lot of repetition going on in here to make this circular shape. A little bit of background. Obviously, this shield represents Captain America, and you can argue it also represents the Avengers, right? Captain America, originally showed up in the comic books. 1940, I looked it up. December 20th, 1940 was the first issue of the Captain America comic books. It was originally called Captain America Comics. And obviously, Cap became Cap as it was in the MCU. He took the super soldier formula, and he became, from a scrawny little guy, he became, who we know and love as Steve Rogers, Captain America. Originally created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Their issues originally ran up until issue 75. In 1950 it ended, and then he returned, obviously, in Avengers 4 in that very famous cover, in March of 1964 in the Silver Age, and Stan Lee obviously took over the writing of the series, of Captain America's story, I should say. And obviously he eventually joined the Avengers pretty quickly, and over time started his own solo adventures and Tales of Suspense, which led to his own comic book in issue 100 in 1968. And for the most part, he's been running pretty consistently in the comic book series. And it's mostly been Steve Rogers, but there was a time Winter Soldier took over, Bucky took over. There's also been the Falcon, who has also been Captain America, and I think they're both Captain America, if I'm not mistaken. And the Shield in the comic books and in the MCU have slightly different histories as far as this. In the comic books, this is the circular shield is actually his second shield. In the first comic book appearance, he had this more of a traditional kind of trying of a shield. It was it looked kind of like one of those medieval type of shields that Lego builds, and then he came up with a circular shield in the second issue, if I'm not mistaken. And in the comic books, the shield is made of adamantium, which is the same as Wolverine's claws, so it's pretty much indestructible. Whereas in the MCU, this shield is made of vibranium, and obviously not so indestructible, near indestructible, but not so indestructible because it was actually shattered by Thanos in the Endgame movie. So let's have a look at the instructions so you can kind of see a couple of things. Obviously, in the book here, you can see that it talks a little bit, very, very briefly, when I say a little bit, about Captain America being the first Avenger and fighting Hydra and that kind of stuff, and that the shield was Stark's invention as well. And then, they talk a little bit about the creative process of building the shield, and a little bit about working on how that was created. You can see on this picture, in comparison, as it says, about 18.5 inches, what that looks like next to a person. And there are 25 bags. There's the stand there. I'll pull off the shield so you guys can see the stand in a moment. And then there's the shield. And so you can see having to build these parts. It is circular, so there's a lot, as I said, a lot of repetition. So book one is just basically building out the frame, or bag, like the first bag. Bag two continues that process. Then we're just kind of layering everything on, kind of working on the back part, getting that supported, adding more conjunction parts. So you can see the book itself is not very thick. You can see it's not, the whole book itself is not very thick because it is all repetition. It's all repetition. There's the you can see as we're kind of flipping through this quickly, but you're doing the same thing over and over, and you're like 10, 12 times or something like that, or whatever it is. Except the only difference, obviously, is when we start making the centerpiece, right? Even that has some repetition. Like this 10 to 16 is just making these parts here, which is just part of the shield. So it kind of ends like that, and then we make some other parts to fill in the rest. So 17 to 22 to fill in the rest. So I guess the people that I've seen some of the reviews of this, and I was kind of contemplating whether I want this shield or not. But I saw it on a sale on Amazon or something like that a few weeks ago, and I said that's a good deal. So let's pick that up. And it was actually what I expected. There's a lot of repetition, but it was a fairly fun build. A pretty easy build, to be honest. You can do it kind of mindlessly while you're binge watching your favorite show. So to me, you know what you're going to get when you buy it. It is a shield. It's circular, and there's a definitive pattern to it. So there's going to be a lot of repetition. I do like the star component. I think that was probably one of the most interesting parts of the build, is just kind of building that star piece in the middle. Yeah, there it is, Captain America's shield, the symbol of freedom. Let's have a look at the base quickly. I'm going to try to get the shield off, and we'll just put it down. So the shield, obviously, as you can probably imagine, is pretty fragile. So you got to be very careful with it. Because the joints or these things can pop off. So you got to be careful with these things. Even as I was bringing it to display, I think one of them popped off, and I was like, ah, crap. So you got to be careful of that. So here's the actual base. So it actually holds it fairly well. It's similar to the bases you would see, for the Star Wars ships and things like that. Good foundation around it, and it's something I like. The red here, it gives it a little bit more color. Obviously you're never going to see it when the shield's on there, but it's a nice touch. As I said, there's Captain America coming off that little thing there. That headpiece there, just me putting it on just so I don't lose it. Obviously you don't have to put it there, and on the box art it is not there, but I just put it there, and you can see it's Captain America Infinity Saga, and that's obviously we want to have the classic ship there, or the shield there. And that is it, my friends. That is Captain America's shield. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you're kind of leaning on the fence about this thing, as long as you know what you're getting. This is a display piece, and yes, there's a lot of repetition, but it is Captain America's shield, and probably one of the most iconic Avengers weapons that you will see in the Marvel Universe. I mean, Captain America's shield is synonymous with, as I said, Captain America and the Avengers. And, Captain America represents everything great about America, and about, being a good person who follows his ethics and morals, and it's a good standard to live by. So, again, this is Chucky from Collecting for Fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It's much appreciated. If you have any other Marvel Lego things you want to see, like for me, I think to me, I would want to see if they can, create like a Iron Man bust similar to what they did with the or life size Iron Man bust, similar to what they did with Black Panther, but Iron Man, and like even if it, I mean, even cooler, obviously if the lights in the chest piece lit up, that would be amazing. But let's see what Lego can come up with. They always come out with really cool things, so I'm happy with this purchase. It was what I expected. It does go on sale. I don't think I would have purchased it at full price, but I've seen it $60 off or and more sometimes. So if you do see it on sale, pick it up. I think you'll be happy with it. So again, Chucky from Collecting for Fun. Until next time, take care, guys.